In recent months, the economic landscape between the United States, China, and India has shifted dramatically. What was once a relatively stable and predictable environment for global trade has now become a battleground of competing interests and rising uncertainty. The world is watching as these three economic giants, each with their own ambitions and priorities, navigate a period of unprecedented tension and transformation. The imposition of a 300% tariff by China and India on American goods marks a significant escalation in trade tensions. This is not just a minor policy adjustment, it's a bold statement that signals a willingness to play hardball on the world stage. For American exporters, the cost of doing business in two of the world's largest and fastest-growing markets has suddenly skyrocketed, threatening established supply chains and business models. This move, seen as retaliation against U.S. policies, has sent shockwaves through global markets. Investors are scrambling to reassess their positions, and the ripple effects are being felt from Wall Street to Shanghai and Mumbai. The uncertainty has led to sharp declines in stock prices, with some sectors experiencing their worst days in years. American fast food giants like McDonald's now face existential challenges in Asia. Once symbols of globalization and American soft power, these brands are now caught in the crossfire of a trade war that threatens their very presence in key markets. For companies that have spent decades building trust and loyalty among Asian consumers, the sudden imposition of tariffs is a major setback. These tariffs are more than just numbers. They reflect deeper geopolitical disputes and could redefine market dynamics. The underlying issues go far beyond economics, touching on national pride, technological competition, and the struggle for influence in a rapidly changing world. Every handshake, every negotiation, is now loaded with new meaning. Stock markets have reacted with volatility, and businesses are scrambling to adapt. Boardrooms are filled with urgent meetings as executives try to chart a course through this storm. Currency values are fluctuating, and investors are searching for safe havens amid the chaos. For multinationals like McDonald's, the path forward is uncertain and fraught with risk. Every decision carries new weight, as companies must weigh the costs of staying versus the risks of leaving. The future of their operations in Asia hangs in the balance, with jobs, investments, and reputations at stake. The stakes are high, not just for these corporations, but for the global economy. The outcome of this standoff could reshape international trade for years to come, affecting everything from consumer prices to employment rates around the world. The tariffs could reset economic relationships and force American companies to rethink their strategies in Asia. Some may be forced to close stores, lay off workers, or find new partners. Others might pivot to different markets or invest in local production to sidestep the new barriers. Adapting to this new reality may determine their survival in these lucrative markets. Flexibility, innovation, and a deep understanding of local cultures will be more important than ever as companies try to weather the storm and find new paths to growth. As we explore the implications, it's clear this is a geopolitical issue with far-reaching consequences. The decisions made in the coming months will not only shape the future of trade between these nations, but could also set the tone for global economic relations in the years ahead. Tariff wars have shaped international trade for centuries. The Smoot-Hawley tariff of 1930, for example, worsened the Great Depression by triggering global retaliation. More recently, the Trump administration's tariffs on Europe nearly sparked a crisis with allied nations. These conflicts show how tariffs can disrupt industries and strain diplomatic ties. Today's globalized economy means tariffs have even broader, faster impacts, affecting supply chains and consumer prices worldwide. History reminds us, escalating tariff wars risk economic disruption and demand strategic negotiation. China and India's tariffs directly target American companies, creating a challenging environment for these global giants, threatening their dominance in Asia. These tariffs are not just numbers on a spreadsheet, they translate to real-world impacts on operations and profitability. McDonald's and PepsiCo, once reliant on Asia for growth, now face higher costs and shrinking margins. The increased tariffs mean that every burger and soda sold in these regions is now more expensive to produce. For McDonald's, tariffs mean pricier ingredients and supplies, forcing tough choices on pricing and expansion. They must decide whether to absorb these costs or pass them on to consumers, potentially losing market share. PepsiCo and others may lose ground to local competitors as costs rise. Local brands, which are not subject to these tariffs, can offer more competitive pricing, attracting cost-conscious consumers. Tech giants like Apple and retailers like Walmart are also bracing for impact, with potential long-term shifts in global strategy. These companies are evaluating how to maintain their foothold in these critical markets. The threat of losing access to Asian markets could reshape how American companies operate worldwide. This could lead to a re-evaluation of their global strategies and a shift in focus to other emerging markets. Many are now re-evaluating supply chains and investments, seeking ways to adapt or pivot. This includes exploring alternative suppliers and investing in local production facilities to mitigate the impact of tariffs. The outcome could redefine the future of international business for these giants. The decisions made today will shape their global presence for years to come, influencing everything from supply chains to market strategies. McDonald's stands as a prime example of the complex challenges American companies are grappling with in today's global economy. As trade tensions escalate and tariffs rise, the fast food giant finds itself at the center of a storm that's reshaping international business. With a major presence in Asia, McDonald's must now walk a tightrope, balancing the rising costs of imported ingredients and equipment with the need to keep its menu affordable for millions of customers. Every price increase risks alienating loyal diners, while absorbing costs could squeeze profits. Nearly 10% of McDonald's global revenue comes from Asia, making the region a critical pillar of its business. A downturn here doesn't just dent earnings, it can ripple across the company's entire global strategy, affecting jobs, investments, and future growth. To weather the storm, McDonald's may need to get creative, sourcing more ingredients from local farmers, developing menu items that reflect regional tastes, and investing in technology like self-service kiosks to streamline operations and reduce costs. Expansion plans could slow as the company reassesses risks, but the crisis also presents an opportunity. By listening to local customers and adapting to their preferences, McDonald's can deepen its roots and build stronger relationships in these vital markets. The way McDonald's responds to these challenges could set a powerful example for other multinational corporations facing similar headwinds. Its strategies and innovations may become a blueprint for survival in a rapidly changing world. Tariffs are both a threat and a catalyst, forcing companies to rethink old habits, streamline supply chains, and find new ways to connect with customers. For McDonald's, this moment is as much about resilience as it is about reinvention. The future of the fast food industry in Asia, and perhaps the world, may depend on how well companies like McDonald's adapt to these turbulent times, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth and innovation. The tariffs have fueled a surge of anti-US sentiment in China and India, adding a social layer to the economic conflict. In India, calls to boycott American brands have gained momentum, with social media amplifying the movement. This isn't just about economics, it taps into national pride and a push for self-reliance. For American companies, this means eroding brand loyalty and trust built over years. Navigating this climate requires cultural sensitivity and genuine engagement with local communities. The growing sentiment could influence trade talks and policy decisions, making the business environment even more unpredictable. How US brands respond now will shape their reputation in Asia for years to come. These tariffs are more than economic tools, they're part of a larger geopolitical chess game. China uses tariffs to assert its power and challenge US dominance in Asia, aligning with its broader ambitions. India's move is both a response to US policies and a push to strengthen its own industries. The US now faces a complex web of shifting alliances and rivalries in the region. These decisions ripple across the globe, influencing trade, diplomacy, and economic stability. Understanding the geopolitical context is key to predicting what comes next. The world is watching as these power plays reshape global trade. India and China's strategies are central to the unfolding tariff drama. For China, tariffs are part of a broader plan to expand influence through initiatives like Belt and Road. India seeks economic independence and protection for its industries, balancing ties with both the US and China. Both nations are driven by domestic priorities: growth, stability, and job creation. Their actions reflect a careful calculation advancing national interests, without triggering direct confrontation. The complexity of their positions makes the future of global trade unpredictable. As these giants maneuver, their choices will shape economic and political trends worldwide. The world's eyes are on their next moves. The new tariffs force companies to rethink how they do business globally. Economic nationalism, shifting alliances, and changing consumer preferences are the new normal. Success now depends on flexibility, diversifying suppliers, investing locally, and innovating quickly. the broader geopolitical context will shape the rules of global trade. Multilateral cooperation and strategic adaptation are more important than ever. The future belongs to those who can navigate this complex, interconnected world. The tariff crisis is a wake-up call: adapt, collaborate, and innovate, or risk being left behind.